Alright guys, what is going on? Matt here, and welcome to the Stanley Parable. Now, this game has been out for a while, and it's a game I've always really wanted to play. Well, that's really cool. It's showing exactly what's on my screen, even showing my shadow play. That's really cool. Anyways, so this is a game I really wanted to play for a while. It went on sale for the summer sale this year for like $2. I picked it up. It's a game that's I believe it's made in the Source engine. I believe it was almost like a mod off of Half-Life and the Half-Life engine and brought into a full game. So anyways, let's stop talking about it. Let's play it. This should go up as a complete part. I know I clapped at the beginning. That's usually for me to just to kind of sync the audio and the video, just to make sure everything's alright. This should go up as a single part. So let's begin as soon as this game finishes loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So it wants me to step out, huh? Oh, when I press E, it makes like keyboard sounds. You hear it? Or when I press mouse 1, it does it too. Crouch, okay. Oh.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually,
Wish you could zoom.
They would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
What the fuck? Okay. That's so weird. But when I look at the computer and I press E, it doesn't work.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
I hate
meeting.
Mondays.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Who farted?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't
Oh,
find
this
a
guy's
trace
job looks
of his
fun.
co-workers.
I just got an achievement that says you can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. That's what the achievement reads. No, seriously, we disabled it. That's hilarious. That's a fun job right there. Just to be a fucking pencil sharpener. I really wish you could zoom, but you can't. Ooh. Let me look at the. I love that sound. The keyboard sound. Nope. No zoom.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Oh, rip. Turn off all the computers. Using too much fucking. How the what? How the mighty have fallen. I really wish I could zoom because my eyes cannot see that. Whoa. Input received. Doing anything.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
Ooh, someone spilled. Game is reading you.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Should have went on the right to say fuck you, but oh well.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an
Whiteboard
answer.
manager. Rip Franz. Oh shit. What to do about 432? Isn't that me? Don't tell 432 about the meeting. 451's private time. Am I 432 or who was I? I don't remember. I already remembered. Shit. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Do synergize papers? Papers are too synergized. Fire a paper guy. Hire someone to fire the paper synergizing guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic. Complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write next day's agenda. Reflect. Everyone has an employee number except for Jim, apparently. Oh. Do synergize core value expenditures. Shift to global market. Parod something. Monetize free to play. Oh, I'm gonna post it. I'm trying to read this. What do people want? Things. What was that? Happy feelings? Mike, James, you are fired. Money, more money. Things, but with money to do, buy more things. Graphs about things plus money. We have our new product. Profits, profits, profits. We need more, less reviews. Want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule, but I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers, more water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Some sort of child trap. Work harder, or work harder, hard worker. A lot of percent. Teenager size of demographic. Space between the teenagers. Throw something in the ideas bin. No more bins. The trash cans. Renaming of the idea bin. Firing of me. Ideas bin. Oh, I want to read the slides. Come on, I want to read the slides. Come on. Number of slides on this chart. Chart and slides. Come on, I want to read the slides now. Should be a pointer you can press to go through them. Please, no more charts. Begging, begging, begging. Clear skin, comatose, charts, pollution. Talk less, do unbelievable, amazing work all the time, every day with no expectation of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. I just love a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive aggressively on other coworkers. Oh my god.
He seems to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe.
Make sure your slides has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text.
On such good terms.
Okay, I read the rest. Ooh, isn't someone in here?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
And you can't jump because it's fucking disabled.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna disobey him for this one. Ooh. Holy shit, I cannot read that. I wrote this in the first person. Holy fuck, I can't even read that.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Nope.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh shit.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Yeah, we've already seen this
And
part
for
too.
that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
Yeah.
Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers
Is that
weren't
mold or what
actually
is that?
gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh shit.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he?
Ooh, that was so cool.
And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
Things are changing slightly. I feel like they are.
A dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss, I have an office, I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real, I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Come on, man. Can't see shit.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. Oh boy.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. just a matter of time.
Oh shit. So they have to do this like 4 more times? Because that was this computer last time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You can take the one on the right this
This
time.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
There's a nice
Stanley
ambiance
simply
right
stood
there.
here, drinking it all in.
Oh come on. That doesn't do anything.
Yes, really worth it being here in the room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
And that doesn't. Is that the same? No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
That's a big ass room.
I'm not
Holy
your
shit.
enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who the hell are you talking about, dude? Ugh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another,
Let me out, let me out.
then pick up the phone.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
No,
Okay,
I'm
there we
427.
go.
That's what I mean.
All right, now,
Because
I want you to come
apartment's
in
name
and
is
tell me
427,
all
isn't
day.
it? Okay.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Sad.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told
Oh
to do.
shit.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I'm gonna stop doing what he asked me to do. Unless I have to for this part. Because he's saying it's a parallel to what you are as an employee. You sit there, you do what you're supposed to do, and you do it when you're told to do it. Talking about the kind of working life that we have today as a society, and it's telling me to do that. but it seems like I have to do it at this point, or else it won't advance. Whatever.
In his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands.
I'm really annoyed that you can't see my feet.
And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
Oh shit, that's my desk.
Imagine that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So,
spend time with the boys.
He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press 8 to repair dinner.
Through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path,
turning into my office,
round room with monitors and mind controls, and down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby, and he called it the Stanley Parable.
Tell your kids a story?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Press I to tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Fuck you.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Question nothing?
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
The fuck? Please die?
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Alright.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Can't close that door. Okay. Alright, where's the computer this time? It's not here. There's no computer ready to receive input. The fuck?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
I've already been here.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping... Oh no, no. Not again, I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
That's funny. Okay, we went downstairs last time.
Stanley walked
Let's go upstairs.
to his boss's office.
Oh. Fancy office. Hey! You received input.
Stepping into his
Oh shit, I want to go to the...
Stanley was
Shit.
once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
Picture of his
What he
cat.
could not
Oh,
have
wait,
known
whoa, whoa.
was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible
I have a
truth
curse
that his
here.
boss
Oh.
had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Ooh, that's dark. Ooh.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control.
If light is on
Facility.
call. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't want to be mind controlled, dude. I'm getting out of here.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
That's fine. I don't want to be mind controlled.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nope. I don't want to be mind controlled.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Oh shit.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh fuck. Please help me. Oh shit, you can... Wait.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless. making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Wasting power. Are we really done? Huh. Always intend to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, through this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. Second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. The flow of hallways following the first two doors was important to get right since players will play them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. For a long time we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. These levers were originally a part of Zending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color they had pulled. This screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. One of the deaths from an early version of the countdown ending. This is the freedom ending as it existed in beta. An early version of the countdown room. For a time, the elevator in the mono room could go up or down with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the two endings together instead. This was the first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. Screens from the development of the boss's office. Another version of the underground portion of the game. Kevin Briding, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game.
See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Okay. Pressing quit and quitting wasn't actually... There's no way. Right? So... Begin the game again? Or quit the main menu?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
Hey.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No
There you
matter
go.
how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either.
Alright, alright.
Feeling a wave of disbelief,
You
Stanley decided to
motherfucker!
go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Please explain. Please explain why you nailed the thing
Coming
shut.
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What's over here now? Executive bathroom. Ooh. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the bosses suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. It's a pretty nice bathroom. Narrators being weird. You just say shit. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Ooh. That's hip. So New Age.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I wonder what type of ending we'll get. I don't remember how many endings there are in this game. I'll have to look it up
Stanley
after.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
That's 4 up there, right? Yeah, I need to find 3.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Bucket.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted?
Yes.
Control?
Yep.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode.
Oh shit.
Eliminating the
Oh shit.
complex.
Shut it off. Shut it off.
Until detonation then, let's say
Shit.
2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about
Serious?
about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know
What?
where to start.
What do the buttons do?
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right.
Yellow? I need to find yellow? Is that what it's telling me?
I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
Red?
I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional
Fuck,
seconds.
what the hell?
Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, fuck you. Running from button to button,
Blue?
screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons.
What?
No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley,
Shit, what in the
you're in
fuck?
for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy.
Is there really no way to get out of this?
World, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you
Oh shit.
can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle.
Yeah,
30
well.
seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown
Yeah, well,
to
rip.
pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I
well,
say,
bye all.
"You're up."
Yep, figures. Oh. Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. Press all the buttons. At least shout and push the buttons. Whee! This is making me go insane. Let me go to something real quick. Oh. Wait, where is it? Audio? Oh yeah. Oh, it doesn't say what they're saying. Alright, I might just have to hit play again. I guess that's Easter egg. Oh, it's in there again. It's like 4. I don't know what to do here, so we're just gonna go begin again and not do that part and not do that.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
See if the broom closet is still closed.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
No. Oh. What are you doing here? Why can't I see my fucking thing? Oh, okay. Never mind. Thing's open already. Hey, good job, team. We all put in a valiant effort.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I do. Hopefully.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would...
Shut it off. Tear it down. I can't fucking see anything.
Blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Well, no.
He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, what to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
What? I just got the achievement, beat the game. So are we done? I think that's it. I mean, we beat the game. I think you could just keep going and doing random things all the time. Oh, well, this game is not for the mentally fucking impaired, dude, or the mentally unstable. Oh, well, thank you guys for watching. If you did this whole playthrough, I'm gonna go fucking